パイプムーンディライトワークスフランスパン
Ladies and gentlemen, how is it hanging? Bob here. Welcome to a new Let's Play. This time is going to be a little bit of a shift in, well, not really a shift in genres, but definitely a shift in scope, that's for sure. So last time, you may have caught me in this little fighting game Let's Play marathon. We did Hyperdimension. No, I have not gotten to the Tunia games yet. No, we did Nitro Blasterz Victory vs. Plus. Tonight, we are starting, finally, after having spent like over a month practicing this game. I'm not kidding about that. You should, you know what? Actually, no. Before we get too far into this, I do need to show you guys what I've been doing with my life for like the last month. And Twitch is already fully aware of this, but YouTube, you may not be aware. Okay, well, this is an absolute lie. So, Steam says I only have 22 hours in this game. That is definitely a lie. Combined with my my PSN account, I've actually put like at least 50 hours into this game already before we even started this proper. So, Melty Blood type Lumina. Oh boy. All right. So first of all, hi chat. How are you all doing? Be sure to follow me on Twitch in order to keep up with the Let's Plays as they go live. By the way, recently passed 250 followers on Twitch, so I'm very glad we managed to reach that milestone finally. We were flirting with that for like 6 months or so. So thank you very much for that. Next game I will be doing after this is going to be Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden, because I did promise that. I was gonna make that this current Let's Play, but I was already too deep into practice. I'm like, yeah, maybe not so much. So, Melty Blood type Lumina. This is a very, I might just be straight and say this might be my new favorite 2D fighting game of all time. I'm gonna be real with you guys. This has been an absolute blast to go through, and I haven't dropped 50 hours into this game for no reason. Like, legitimately, this has been one of the most fun things I've ever gone through. So, some basic things about this game in order to give you some context. First of all, released September 30th, 2021 on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. I think the Switch version may have come out a little bit later, but don't quote me on that. Developed by French Spread, the original developers of the series, who also made Eunice there afterwards. So you can see a little bit of their inspiration spitting through with this game. Now, what's funny is that Melty Blood was originally a sequel / spin-off for the Tsukihime series, the second series created by Nasu before he made, you know, the eponymous Fate Stay Night 2005. Yeah, Tsukihime. What am I going to say about this? Yeah, so originally Tsukihime was a visual novel released in 2002. It was like Nasu's first major work after he worked on the Maho Tsukai no Yoru series while he was in college. So that's really funny. Anyway, sorry, I haven't been looking at chat a minute. What am I missing so far? Chat's gonna know more about me in this game, by the way. It's a fighting game. Oh, I haven't seen this guy before. It's a fighting game about Tsukihime, which is a series. Tsukihime came out in 2002. I think it came out in 2002, but I'm probably incorrect about that. Melty Blood may have dropped in 2002. I don't fully have those dates lined up. I need to do a little bit more research into the series before I can say one way or the other. So, first of all, YouTube, yes, this is being recorded live on Twitch. You'll see Twitch chat pop up down below. Now, this is also a very funny game. This didn't initially launch with story modes. So the way this is going to be broken down is we're going to be doing the individual story modes for this game, which is basically well over here, and we're going to be here for a good bit. This is part of the reason why this is taking forever, because, oh man, there's a lot of stuff to go over with this game. Now, where's my notes at? Right, so everything's told arcade style, but they're not like branching paths or anything. It's told pretty linearly, but every story does like kind of intersect in a weird sort of way. Originally, this game didn't launch with a story mode. Now, the funny thing about this recording is that this currently is the most up-to-date video game I have recorded for YouTube to date, which is a very funny thing about. Like the prior, I think the most modern Let's Play I had done for a game was probably Dragon Ball FighterZ for 2018. This is 2021. I am now... Oh yeah, this is the first game I'm recording for post-pandemic. Go figure. That's a really weird thought, isn't it? Yeah, after the cough happened. Go figure. So let me go ahead and take you guys through this little by little. Now, if you're not familiar with my Let's Plays, first of all, congratulations, I guess. And also, I like to spend a few minutes at the beginning of each one of these Let's Plays just going through the rigmarole of showing everyone some basic stuff for the game really fast. That way we can all have a sense of perspective for what the game is like going forward. Let's see here. Who's the good... You know what? I guess Arcwade's probably the one to show it off here. I'll just show off the not ring color I made for her. Go figure. I should not have my notes right over freaking chat. Hang on a second, guys. All right, let's see. I believe Sion Eltum in Under Night was meant to test the waters for new Melty Blood, but she ended up being in the game. Yeah, we'll go over that a little bit as we go forward. So, the basic things about Melty Blood, as I can say, is that it's got a little bit of reputation for being extremely hard to get into, but take it from me, the skill floor to getting into this game is like extremely freaking low. So Jericho will do training single player and then climb to EX rank on network, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely the idea. I will say, I have spent, normally with these fighting games, I don't go too deep into online before I get into the recording, but I will say, I have spent more than one session just doing online, and I'm not out of C ranks yet, but considering that there's not a lot of players for this game, I'll take that even that much. So let me go ahead and find my notes for the game while we're ahead of ourselves. Yeah, since I do Let's Plays of fighting games, and I play a little bit of fighting games myself, if you don't know anything about me, I have blue ranks in Tekken 8, which isn't that impressive anymore, but enough that I'm satisfied with that for the time being. I'll get to Emperor eventually. So, where are my notes for the damn mechanics? Okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to dig a little bit for it. So, by the way, yes, this first video for YouTube is going to be entirely just going over the mechanics for the game. The actual story part will begin in the next video, so if you're here for that, you're going to want to jump ahead, but if not, I will show you how to play this goddamn game. I'm not going to drop you guys in blind. But that being said, I can't show you everything here. It turns out this game is kind of deep. More so than I would have expected, but also not surprising considering the players this game has spawned. So it's a 2D fighter, sprite-based. It's what people consider an air dash fighter, which is... I've already gone over it a little bit in Nitro Blasterz before, but the air dasher is basically any like anime-style fighting game where you have an air dash. The reason this is important is because in Street Fighter or like more grounded quote-unquote 2D fighting games, a lot more of your game is fall on the floor with like footsies, whiff punishing, frame traps, and having to like earn your approach, you know? Like you can't just like leap across the screen and beat all the fireballs, unless you're Oni in Street Fighter 4 specifically, anyway. or maybe also, I don't know, someone Street Fighter 5, I didn't play Street Fighter 5. Anyway, where was I at with this? So this allows you to kind of bypass a lot of problems, so it becomes a little bit more in your face. Now, what really adds a lot of wrinkles to this game especially is actually two things. I didn't write this in my notes specifically, but reverse beat. Now, if you played Dragon Ball FighterZ, you may know where this is going. So these days, Ultimate Gohan level 7 and no, level 5, I think it became level 5 later on. And Vegito, they're able to do their buttons kind of backwards. You kind of get that here. So normally with these kinds of fighting games with a chain system, like BlazBlue's revolver system or like Guilty Gear's weird thing, you go light, medium, light, medium, heavy. In this game, you're able to go medium light. You can go heavy light. You can go this, which is kind of like a staple. What makes this really interesting is because it allows a lot more flexibility with like confirms and allows you to do different things for like your start. Like for example, I can confirm this, not too hard. You can do like your big buttons in order to do kind of like more intricate stars and whatnot. It adds a lot of depth to it, such that I'm not even sure entirely what you're supposed to do on offense with this just yet, but it does add a lot of fun factor to the game. It makes it really unique. That is for goddamn sure. You have two resources you can play with. One is your Moon Gauge for EX moves, which is this, and Meter for supers, which is the bottom thing. Now, I'm gonna... all right, no, you know what? No. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Auto combos. The game does have auto combos. This is actually a new thing for Melty Blood type Lumina specifically. It actually allows you can just mash one button and you can get a full combo out. I've had a little bit of hot takes recently, and I think I'm starting to actually agree with it a little bit. I think auto combos are kind of good for fighting games. I was a little bit dubious on that first, but just giving anyone like the easiest of wins by just allowing you to mash basically one button to get a full combo, just get a feel for the game. I actually think I'm kind of on board with this. Some are obviously a bit better than others, obviously, but I think they're relatively good for letting newcomers like kind of just pick up the game and just roll with it, you know? All right, and also you have one off of each face button. Like you can do a light starter, you can do a medium starter, you can do a heavy starter. This doesn't really affect too much, I think, outside of like damage scaling, but we'll worry about that later. You can also do... Alright, I talked about that one. Now, I'm not going to spend too much more time with this system because obviously there's a lot of stuff to go through here. I'm just going to point you in the direction of the... Where is it? There's a tutorial in this game, but it does do a pretty good job at actually telling you what everything is. Yeah, like this guy in question. But that being said, yeah, I can't begin to try to tell you all this in a concise manner for YouTube for our first video. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys to kind of more piece it, the rest of the details for yourself. All I'm going to say is, the skill floor is not that hard, but this is getting a bit more to the skill ceiling. And imagine if every player, every character in the game was basically Hakumen from BlazBlue. If you know, you know. If you don't know, every character has a shield system that allows you to basically perform counterattacks and whatnot. And I'm going to also brag about a light thing really fast. Yeah, I've been putting a little bit of time into the clear the mission modes. On PlayStation Network, I actually have the clear rate for every mission in the game over at over 90%. I'm not kidding. I put a lot of time into this game, and thus I've actually I don't ever really try to do every combo challenge for a fighting game. I think it's kind of needless and like hard. Oh wait, actually, my whole clear rate is only 72% here. Okay, on PSN it's over 90%. I'll tell you that. But yeah, I've had more fun than I thought I was ever going to have with this game, and now that I look at this now, I'm going to get this over 90% for the next recording session. So, yeah. Where am I going with this right now? Let me take a quick drink break. Alright, so, with all that out of the way, I feel like I might be gunning this a little bit too much right now, but you know what? I think it's still okay. Oh, yeah, maybe I should show us off, network. Yeah, so I do have a little bit of time put into the online rank for this game. Not amazing. I have exactly a 50% win rate right now, but hey, I did climb the ranks a little bit. And yes, my main is Red Arcade right now. I have no idea how the name selection thing works for the nameplates down there, but still kind of cool. Actually, wait, how long have I been streaming so far? I think the first part was 8 minutes. Oh, wow, actually, we might be able to start a story for this. How about that shit? Cool. So, now is when things get kind of fun. Now, if you're not familiar with Tsukihime whatsoever, things are about to get a little interesting. Now, let's say that maybe you have a little bit of passive knowledge in the Fate series. Fate and Melty Blood do actually share a universe, and if you're really casual into it, you might not be aware of this fact, but yeah, so all of it kind of branches into this overarching universe called the Nasuverse, and the Nasuverse basically has like a lot of like overlapping elements such that everything does share the same world and a lot of same mechanics, except sometimes they differ, but not really too often. Where does this really come to a head with? Well, such that we do have, if you go check the gallery over here, we have a lot of characters that are okay, so not initially here, but first of all, Saber does make an appearance in this game. That's okay, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Nitro Blasterz, what does do in the game, getting to Saber kind of motivated me to trying out this game and kind of what led me down this rabbit hole of doing this game next. But yeah, Saber does make an appearance kind of frequently. I was told she appears in the original Melty Blood. I haven't seen that directly myself yet, but apparently that's a thing, I guess. I don't know, someone could correct me on that if I'm wrong. But yeah, so not only this, but Melty Blood has appeared. I'm going to keep calling Melty Blood on Tsukihime right now. I'll apologize for that fact. Arcoid's appeared in the Fate series. Recently I know Seal's appearing in Grand Order, but even before that, if you played Fate Extra, you'll actually be able to fight Arcoid as a boss, kind of like an Easter egg boss, but actually like a real sort of thing in Fate Extra. And also Ryogi Shiki does appear there too, who unfortunately is not present in this game. There's a lot of things to go over. Also worth mentioning that Melty Blood, this game, it's not the original Tsukihime, as you can tell by the designs. This is actually, so the story for this game and the characterization is actually off of the Reboot series. I forgot what the actual full name is immediately, but yeah, it's not the original Tsukihime Melty Blood. So if you're like me and read the manga, then a lot of things do carry over, but a lot of things are missing, unfortunately. But that being said, yeah, you can kind of get skirted by. There's only a few like really key differences. For example, Nero Chaos is not here, like anywhere. He does appear, I guess, I think somewhere in someone's side story. Who the hell was it? Let me check that really fast. There we go. Okay, sorry, I had to really deep dive my notes for a second there. Yeah, so there are some key differences between the reboot Tsukihime and the original one. So the story has been expanded a good amount, such that there's more things that do actually happen that you can keep track of. New characters introduced, like we had Miyako there in the gallery, and art's updated. Not always for the better. There's no sex scenes. Those were removed, and Nero Chaos was taken out, and apparently he was pointed to just some routes as a cameo. So that's really funny. Also, some would probably argue a good thing because, you know, it's like Nero Chaos is like really goddamn powerful, and that's like the first real enemy that Shiki takes down. I don't know. I think it's kind of like a good thing. I think he did kind of help the story a little bit because it's like this is the guy that can specifically be taken down by Shiki's eyes of death perception, but you know. I also want to make mention that I'm genuinely surprised people on X/Twitter, especially like the freaks, weren't bitching about censorship in gaming over the fact that the sex scenes were taken out of the remake. I find it's really funny. It really shows how underground this actually is, then, that it wasn't turned into a political talking point. Personally speaking, I don't really care either way. If you go back and look at the art style for the old Tsukihime, it's kind of rough and definitely indicative that, yeah, this was Nasu pretty much fresh out of college and hadn't really found his footing yet. Art style became pretty good later on, but not amazing in the original, if you catch my drift.